Hey guys, Jason with Huck Outdoors here, and today we are doing the Gold Fever Trail, which is a self-guided auto trail up here in Big Bear. It's got 12 stops along the way. We bypassed the first one, which is an overlook of Holcomb Valley. We bypassed that because we've done that before. I'll put a little clip up here for you guys. But when we hiked Bertha Peak, there's a big overlook, and we went there. So we are actually at stop number 2, which is, I think, the Placer Mining. You can see Monica across the way. So right here is an old mining pit that they used to do the placer mining up here in Holcomb Valley. Right here you can see the fence over here and around this little pit here. It's a mining pit. This is stop number 2, the last chance placer. And basically placer mining was a technique where the gold was separated from the sand and gravel of water. They'd work this site till they found bedrock, and then they'd find the pay dirt, like the black sand, was transported back on horse or burros to be sluiced in rockers. But there's a few other mounds and tailings along the way throughout here. But yep, this is stop number 2 on the Gold Fever Trail. We're gonna head off to number 3 coming up soon, which is Two Gun Bill's Saloon. So we made a little side trip off the Gold Fever Trail to this little grave site here. It's called Wilbur's grave. I'm gonna try to find out some information on him, who Wilbur was, and let you guys know. Just put it up on the screen here. Wilbur's grave. No idea who he was or what he was, but that's the gravesite right there. So then across the way there's a little meadow over there with some just some reeds and a little bit of water, some ducks out there. Pretty neat. So here's stop number 3 on the Gold Fever Trail, and this was a site of, on here it says Two Gun Bill's Saloon. But for many years, strangers were told that this was the site of the famous saloon, dance hall, and bordello. But basically it was a lie. The real Two Gun Bill Saloon was due west about 1.5 miles at the juncture of 3N16 and 3N12. The remains resting here used to be of a very big cabin that was occupied up till the 30s. You can see some of the logs, like this one here, have been cut in pretty good. That one there. That one there's been cut in, grooved around, so they used them for, of course, for the siding of the cabin. But they did it right up here. So, at one point, this was somebody's cabin. Here we are at stop number 4. And this is all that remains of Jonathan Tibbett's Grasshopper Quartz Mill. You got the water pump here, and then this little cement block is pretty much all that's left. And of course you got the, over here is where all the tailings went from the mill. On this spot, Tibbett's operate a 5-stamp mill powered by a Pico steam engine. So that thing was probably running all day and night. Look at this view around of Holcomb Valley. Right over there would be where John Bowl is. Wow, very neat. Lots of history up here. There's that water pump. So what we're coming up to now is stop number 5 on the Gold Fever Trail, and what is known as Hangman's Tree. There's talk of it not really being the original Hangman's Tree. You're saying that one might have been cut down years ago next to the Belleville cabins, but this is it. This is the Hangman's Tree. Old juniper tree.
I think that's the biggest one I've ever seen.
So this is stop number 6 on the Gold Fever Trail. And this is where they had the original gold diggings. So you can see there's a seasonal stream that flows through, and that's where Bill Holcomb made his original discovery, panning and digging right along here. So in 1861-62, thousands of claims were struck throughout the valley here. This was it, where they found the gold originally. Here we are on stop number 7. This is basically the site of Belleville, and they've got a cabin here, the Van Dusen cabin. This isn't the original location, but they brought it out here to show what a cabin would look like. It was one of the last intact ones around, so they moved it over here. And basically this site where we're at, you can see the valley all around me here, was the site of Belleville. And in 1861, I was reading, there was over 1,500 people living up here. So if you could imagine just how many people that was throughout the valley. So 1,500 people, you're looking, I don't know, just think of 1,000 cabins or something, or 1,200 cabins or something up here. Maybe there's 1,500, who knows. Lots of cabins. This stump right here, I'm going to show it to you. That stump right there in front of us was actually the original Hangman's tree. The other one's over there, off to the left over there. But they think this was actually the original one. We're gonna go check this out. This is where Belleville was, and actually a little cool piece of history was when they were trying to figure out the county seat of San Bernardino County, it came down to 2 towns. It was San Bernardino and Belleville. Belleville missed out on being the county seat of San Bernardino by 2 votes. Can you imagine this could have been the county seat up here? That would have been cool. Let's go check out the cabin. Just gonna go inside. It's been restored. It's not a big cabin. You got a window over here, another door there, another window there. They've redone the roof. Basically, it's not leaking now. This is some of the original wood. You can see how it's been chopped out. So a lot of people came up here and tagged, of course, in here like idiots. And they carved their name into everything. Man. People have done way up there, so they've climbed up there to do it. Really, guys? So like a lot of the sites out of state when we came to them. Like we went to Butch Cassidy's cabin, and there was nothing there at all. Of course, they're restoring that one now, and it's actually all dismantled. So I'm glad I got to see that before that happened. Here we are. This is the Van Dusen cabin. You can see how everything intertwines here. Same for over here. That's the type of shingles they would have had back then, just overlaying each other. Once again, just right here. I don't know when they moved it here, but this isn't the original location. Here we are at site number 8, and I'm probably butchering this, what they're called, but the Arrastres. It's a gold ore grinder, basically. So basically they had mules or donkeys that are harnessed, and they had a beam that would be connected here, and as the donkeys would come around as they're pulling that beam, it's got rocks or heavy stone, something big that was dragging along and basically grinding the other stones. And that's how they got some of the gold out. If I go in here, you can see right down here, see how nice and smooth that is? That's from dragging those stones over it. Of course, over time it's filled up with dirt and everything. So this is site number 9, Ross's grave, and he is buried right there. This used to have a nice little picket fence around it, a couple other things, but vandals sort of tore it apart. So back in '95, this little fence was constructed. This is his grave. He was actually killed here on site while cutting down a tree, and it came down the wrong way or something and killed him. So this is his grave site. Site number 9 on the Gold Fever Trail. So here is site number 10. This was the Pigmy Cabin site. They say there's not much known about it, but you can see the foundation down here. Here's the doorway going in. They said the doorway was only 4 feet high, and the roof itself had a total height of 6 feet. So the height of the cabin was only 6 feet high. That's why they call it the Pygmy Cabin. Of course, the front door was only 4 feet high. Who lived in here? Who knows? Could have been somebody real small, or just somebody that wanted to build the cabin real quick and then go out and pan for gold and try to make his riches. So this is stop number 11 along the Gold Fever Trail. This is the Metzger Mine. I know it doesn't go back too far, but it's a pretty cool mine to go into. Let's go in the Metzger Mine with all these bugs. Oh yeah, very cool down in here. Splits off that way. And that's a dead end. You see right there, it's a spot that they drilled. And then it goes back this way. Hey, boo boo. Oh, it's tough to actually see a bear in here right now. I don't remember it going back this far. I'm using a little emergency flashlight here that I throw in my pack. It's just a AAA. Yeah. It just ends right here. Goes back in maybe 200 yards or so. Maybe not, maybe 100 yards maybe. Let's head back. Okay guys, we are on our last stop here. Stop number 12 on the Gold Fever Trail. And where we are at is the Lucky Baldwin Mine, also known up here as Gold Mountain. Which, Gold Mountain, the peak is actually over there. But this is it. Lucky Baldwin Mine. You can see the ore chute here is sort of falling apart. Looks worse than when I saw it last time. Probably 2 more years and that thing's done. Last time I was here, there was guys walking out on this. So yeah, that's not happening anymore. And then you got some of the old mine shafts over here, but most of those are they caved in the front of them so you couldn't get in. And then if you look way off in the distance right there is where they used to have the 40 stamp mill over there. And then you've got Baldwin Lake in the distance. But this was running by still in 1876. So in 1876, Baldwin, what was his name? Elias Baldwin. He had 180 men working this. So the mill was still in operation as late as 1923. That concludes the Gold Fever Trail, guys. So this route right here can be done by almost any automobile. The last portion coming down here to stop number 12 to here, and lower clearance vehicles, it's going to be a little bit harder to do it, but you can go ahead and do it. Just give yourself some time to get out of the way. And that's it, guys. So if you get a chance, come up here to Big Bear and do this one. Hope you guys enjoy it. If you like the video, hit like. If you got a comment, leave it below. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you on the next adventure. So I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm wearing a shirt here, different than what I usually wear. It was given to me by one of my subscribers, Canyon Man Raj. So he's from New Mexico. There's a lot of great videos out there. Hikes with the Southwest Backpacker a lot. So check out his channel, guys. I'll put a link into the comments below for you guys to check out, and if you can, subscribe.